Hey, Satnam, everyone. Satnam, as we say in Kundalini Yoga. But we're not going to talk about Kundalini Yoga today. We are talking about conscious marketing in this very first episode of the Full Service Human podcast and video if you watch on YouTube. I wanted to start with a topic that sits at the heart of what I do, who I am, and how I work. Maybe you've been feeling it too. If you're anything like me, you must have Googled or searched on social media for how to make money with coaching, teaching classes. And now your feed is full of yoga marketing tips. Promises like how to scale to 6 figures in 3 months, how to charge what you're worth, how to finally make money doing what you love. It sounds great. I'm always in for more money, but I'm even more in for doing it in a heart-centered way. I like to learn more, so when I click on one of those ads, and yes, I do click because I really am genuinely curious sometimes, then I end up quickly in a funnel that feels more like pressure than inspiration. It makes me feel that I don't earn enough, that I don't reach enough people. There's often a big promise and a pain point, and it's usually about money. Then an expensive program says, this is what success looks like. I sit there thinking, for me, it doesn't feel like that. You see, I've always loved working with people one-on-one. I just want to do it in a proper way that suits me, my clients, and my wallet. Or maybe in small, grounded groups, the kind of work where we can see each other's faces, create space to learn, to share, to listen, where we can breathe together, where we can ask questions, where we can find clarity and structure at our own pace. Over the years, I've met so many yoga teachers, creative people selling their goods, and other conscious entrepreneurs who feel exactly the same, who are not looking for 6 figures in 6 months. They don't necessarily need to grow big online. They don't dream of running a massive company or 6 or 7 figure brand. And that whole figure language actually doesn't even resonate for most of us here in Europe. It feels a bit foreign, hollow, and what we do want is to grow in alignment with ourselves, with the people we serve, so we can serve better, deeper, more profound, so we can make a sustainable living, and also that we're able to manage our energy steady while doing it. So today, I want to explore how to grow from where you are, without big promises, but also without losing yourself in the noise. Because that's what I call yogic consulting. How to grow from where you are. It's about bringing the awareness from your practice into the way you share your work with your clients, with the world. So let's talk about the overwhelm, because let's be honest. Technology and social media can feel totally overwhelming. I've seen so many yogis and other teachers, people who do group work, body work, spiritual work. They start online with great enthusiasm and then they stop because it quickly becomes too much. Because we are often very sensitive people ourselves. And it becomes too much very quickly. We post for a few weeks, follow a content calendar, get some inspiration, maybe have some freebie courses or even some paid courses, but we check the likes, we lose motivation, and then we tell ourselves we're just not good at marketing. That negative experience builds up. The next time you want to start something new, maybe a website, an online class, a course, start writing email newsletters, this threshold feels even higher. So we stay stuck in this loop of wanting to grow but feeling that the online world just isn't made for us. So let's do a friendly reframing of this concept, because there's a truth. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. You don't have to suddenly become a content creating machine or spend hours learning every new app. You can take baby steps, kind baby steps. That already sounds different than like a 6-figure in 6 months promise, right? You can bring in your awareness, your rhythm, your style into the technical side of your work. And that's exactly what I love helping people with. Finding this sweet spot between presence and functionality. So let me share with you 3 steps to grow from where you are. If you're a yoga teacher, a body worker, or a coach, here are 3 steps you can take right now. Step 1. Notice what already works. Where are your students and clients already connecting with you? About what topics? Do they ask you questions? Maybe it's through word of mouth that they come in because they heard from a friend. Maybe they ask you a question on WhatsApp. Maybe they ask you a question after class. Those little conversations for me have been gold. And that's the base. That's your community already there. Step 2. Add one simple online touch point, something they can tap into and that you can share and follow up. It can be a small newsletter, a meditation you've recorded, or maybe an ebook you've wrote, but you didn't put it on a website somewhere. It's just in your phone so you can easily share in your upcoming classes. It can also be a bit more technical, like one landing page about your upcoming classes. If you notice that people are often interested in your classes, but you only have a card or phone number to share. It doesn't have to be fancy at all. It's like a tiny little present that you can share. It needs to be alive. So start looking at where people find you, what people ask you questions for, and make it easy for people to stay in touch. Actually, it's also make it easy for you to stay in touch, especially when you use WhatsApp or Signal to send people your little follow-up. For example, many people come into your yoga class being exhausted in the first place. They just want rest, basically. And of course, yoga is still about moving, doing, listening, and it will help them calm down, but they often want more than just this one class a week. When they don't sleep well or need to get a big rest, give them a meditation or a recorded yoga nidra. It can be just a voice recording. This is small, but when you share it in WhatsApp and Signal, you can also follow up with them. So when you have a funnel and an email list, it grows too big often and you don't really see their engagement anymore. But this one-on-one yogic consulting I'm teaching you can be easily followed up by you, just by giving them a heads up like, hey, how did it go? Did you sleep well this week? Let me know how it went, and then you can follow up again. This way, you can bring them into your class or a workshop or whatever you have on offer. That small bit of structure can create a huge calm for you, and it can create a lot of attention, awareness, and heart-centered connection for you and your students. So if you feel resistance, that's okay. Because resistance means that you want to do it, but you're just not there yet. And we can practice, right? So you want it to feel aligned. So you ask yourself these questions. Let me know if it resonates. What part of being online drains me most? What part could actually feel nourishing if I allowed it? And what would it look like to share online in the same way I already teach? Slow, present, authentic, connective. And take a deep breath while you sit with that. So even when you're recording this small present for the next person who comes up to you with their question, you can use this little practice. You can really create something that's aligned from your heart. If this is what you long for, a business that grows with calm, with structure, authenticity, but without the pressure of performance, of reaching some high goals set by someone else, then this is the work I love doing with you. I call it yogic consulting because it's not just strategy. It's awareness, structure, and flow together. Some people start off with my MailerLite setup, which I can do often in 1 week with you. And then you have a mailing list ready without stress, and you're using a platform on which you can also build a website and a funnel if you would ever want to offer free consulting or a free ebook. You can also book a clarity call, and then online we will, in 1 hour or an hour and a half, see what is needed for the next step. My experience is that it's often first cleaning up and clearing up, because I want my work to be accessible, and growth should never depend only on money. I have these different options to start with. Of course, it also depends on how ready you are, how curious you are, and how much courage you have to take bold steps. Maybe it's good to mention that these recordings, these podcasts, are also part of my own practice and research. I use them to share my learnings and to explore what I call soulful marketing. So what I meet in my week, who I meet, the challenges, the learnings, I will share them here so we can communicate and grow authentically in today's fast, noisy, and often distracting online world. In the end, this online world is also made for us. If you know how to use it, you can use it exactly what you need it for. So what you hear here is not a finished formula. It's an ongoing journey, a living conversation about how to stay connected, how to stay human while using modern tools. If you've been feeling tired of all the six-figure talk, if you've been waiting for a marketing voice that feels human, welcome. Subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, and let's connect. You're in the right place. Let's grow from where we are, with awareness, baby steps, and a lot of heart and fun along the way. If you'd like to continue this conversation, you can visit my website, fullservicehuman.com, or join my weekly newsletter, The Marketing Mardi, where I share gentle, practical tools for conscious businesses. Thank you for being here, and see you next week. Sat Nam. Sat Nam.